Hello everyone and welcome to Self-Sufficiency with Johnny Lee. Please make sure that you like, share, and subscribe if you find value with this channel. Today, I want to address something that religious people love to tell me, that atheists aren't moral, that atheists have no foundation for right and wrong, that atheists have made the world worse. And every time I breathe, because I know where this conversation is going. I don't come into this world pretending atheists are angels. We're all human. We're all flawed. We all have the capacity for good and evil. But if we're going to talk morality, if we're going to talk about who made the world worse or better, then we're going to talk honestly, not selectively. Because when you claim that your religion has absolute morality, when you claim your God is the source of goodness, when you claim your scripture keeps humanity from falling apart, then we have to look at the receipts. Let's walk through history, not out of spite, not out of tit for tat, but because truth doesn't require permission to be spoken. For example, the Crusades, entire generations slaughtered in the name of Christ. People who had never met Jesus, never saw Jesus, never heard Jesus, killed to quote unquote win back the Holy Land. The Inquisition, a church-sponsored nightmare. People tortured, imprisoned, burned alive, all because the church believed error had no rights. The witch trials, women, especially women, dragged, drowned, hanged, and burned, not because they did anything, but because religious fear said they were possessed. The Islamic conquest and internal purges. Empires expanding under banners of divine authority. Whole villages wiped out. Dissenters executed. Heretics beheaded. Apostates stoned. And yes, Judaism's own violent chapters. Ancient texts filled with divinely sanctioned wars, genocides, and instructions to eliminate entire peoples. These aren't opinions. These aren't atheist propaganda. These are historical records. If this is what absolute morality looks like, humanity didn't stand a chance. How about we look at the medieval and the colonial receipts? Christian Europe, the land of God's chosen civilization, and what it handed us. Forced conversions. Believe what we believe or die. Burning heretics alive. Colonial conquest wrapped in scripture. Indigenous people enslaved because, quote unquote, God said we rule the earth. Women oppressed for centuries by religious doctrine that said that they were the property of men. Every era of history has blood on its hands, and religion was often the glove that made the hand feel righteous. Let's move even closer to the modern receipts, because religious violence didn't end when the calendar flipped. We have religious terrorism. People blowing themselves up because their God demands it. Christian nationalism. People storming capitals, threatening violence because God has chosen their side. The Westboro Baptist Church using scripture not to heal the wounded, but to wound the vulnerable. Honor killings. Women murdered by family members because religion demands purity. You have anti-LGBTQ violence in God's name. Priestly abuse scandals. Children harmed, covered up, protected by the same institution that claims moral authority over the world. If these are the moral fruits of divine law, then someone needs to check the tree. And now we ask the atheist question. This is the part where the religious person jumps in and says, well, Johnny, what about Joseph Stalin? What about all the atrocities committed by atheists? And I say exactly. Thank you. You've just proved my point. Because when Stalin killed, he didn't kill because he was an atheist. He killed because he was a human being who loved power more than life. And when religious people killed, they didn't kill because they were naturally evil. They killed because human beings will attach their violence to whatever belief system they already hold. So if you're a cruel atheist, you justify cruelty through atheism. If you're a cruel Christian, you justify cruelty through Christianity. If you're a cruel Muslim, you justify cruelty through Islam. Different flags, same human nature. The issue isn't the scripture. The issue isn't the lack of scripture. The issue is the human animal holding it. And here's the truth that we don't like to admit, that underneath all our beliefs is the same biology, the same tribal brain, the same survival instincts, the same capacity for barbarism. We are hairless apes with weapons and an imagination powerful enough to justify anything. Atheists aren't morally superior. Religious people aren't morally superior. Good people do good things. Bad people do bad things. And belief is just the language we wrap it in. And here's where I part ways with most atheists. You see, most atheists will say, we don't need God to be good. And they're right. But my conclusion goes deeper and darker. Human beings will never stop killing each other. Human beings will never stop suffering. Human beings will never stop waging war. Human beings will never stop creating systems that oppress one group and elevate another. Religious or atheist, the suffering continues. So what's the answer? It's to stop bringing new humans into the cycle. You end the suffering at the root, peacefully, responsibly, through antinatalism. No new humans means no new wars, no new genocides, no new holy crusades, no new dictators, no new victims. When humanity ends, suffering ends with it. So I leave you with my final thought, and that is simply, don't tell me atheists are immoral. Don't tell me your religion fixes the world. Don't tell me your scripture saves humanity. We've had thousands of years to prove that, and the verdict is clear. Humanity is the problem, not the label we attach to ourselves. Whether you invoke God or reject him, you are still a human being capable of unthinkable things. And until the human species itself is retired, the suffering will never stop. Thank you for listening. Remember, as I always say, life is suffering, death is mercy, and no one is coming to save you. So save yourself. Until next time.